Alright. Welcome back to Sideboardmtg. My name's Eric, and it's time for Subscriber Sunday. We've got 3 cool decks for you guys tonight. We've got a Grixis build, we have a Jun Planeswalkers or Superfriends build, and then we have a mono green list. So, hope you guys enjoy, and if you do, don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, all the other good things. If you want to play any of these decks and you don't have an MTGO collection and you don't want to go spend a bunch of money on Arena trying to build all these decks, check out manatraders. They're a rental service. You do not actually have to have a collection on Magic Online, and pretty good deal if you use the coupon code in the description box below. Sideboardmtg Black will get you 15% off your first 3 months when you sign up with manatraders. Use the link in the description box below and the coupon code to save the 15%. Alright, so we've got MTGO pulled up here, but I promised that I would start out with some pack openings. So Rush actually purchased some packs for the stream, so we're going to jump over to Arena. We're going to open a couple packs, and then we're going to get back over here to Magic Online, and then go from there. So let me close a few things out. I do have quite a bit open right now. Also, I've got a little treat for some of you guys that may or may not have had the chance to see this in the past. It is an old video. This video is like 6 years old, been sitting around on YouTube, but I got a lot out of this a long time ago when 6 years ago when it came out. It's a video of Patrick Chapin, and he's just basically talking about, deck building and things like that. And I think there's a lot of information there that we could all take away from it. So I'm going to put that right here in chat. If you're watching this in the replay, you can pull up the live chat and you should be able to get the link. It should still be there. But if you guys click that link, that's going to take you over to a YouTube video by Patrick Chapin. And I recommend you bookmark it and check it out later. It's a really good video. Those of you looking for more Magic content and things like that, this is basically him talking about his next level deck building and things like that. So check out that link. I seen that over on the oh man, the Magic Cruise. That's right, it's the Magic Cruise. Jareth Miles remembers it. That's right. Says server cannot be found. What? Well, somebody was able to pull it up. Jareth Miles went straight to the Magic Cruise. He knew exactly what it was. But it's a really good video. A lot of killer information there. Gives you some other really cool ways of looking at Magic. So I recommend that you guys go check that out. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my MTGO. I'll close the program. No, we gotta open up. We gotta open up Arena. Do some pack openings anyway, and then we'll get back into Magic Online here. I've just got so many things open. I gotta get a new background. Right? It's time. It's time for a new background, isn't it? Just send you the link on Facebook later. Well, okay, Rush. I'll give you another way to get it. You know the post from Poopy Fatty or McFats as we call him now, over on the Reddit where he was asking about more content. I put the link in that description. So if you go over on the Reddit and you see where you commented, because you commented on that post, I put this up there, so you'll be able to find it there as well. You and Joe had some tickets booked to that one at one point. Oh man, that's brutal. That would have been awesome to go to. Yeah, there were a lot of I mean, yeah, it was the Magic Cruise. There was a lot of pro players and a lot of non-pro players there and stuff as well. What's up, Tier 1 Jank? How you doing, Marcus? Hope all goes well in your neck of the woods, or in your neck of the woods. Boros Boons, how you doing, sir? All right, so again, like I said, if you guys would like to help build the community here. Support for that would either go through the Cash App at $SideboardMTG, or PayPal at sideboardmtg at gmail.com if you guys want to send support for arena content. It's basically going to be community. Like, I hate it that I'm going to be asking for support for arena, but if you guys want to see more arena, this is the only way I'm going to be able to do it. I do not have the disposable income, and I'm sure not going to take money away from my family to play a game. If you guys want, I will put the grind in. I will put the work in to earn the collections and things like that. But if you guys want more, you want pack openings and things like that, if you guys want to support the content, then I will make the content. So, if you do send money, please send like at least a brief description of how you would like that to be used. And then if that's possible, I will do it. And if it's not possible, I'll refund the funds. Or at least, contact you to let you know, that's not possible. Here's some other options that we have, that sort of thing. So if you do send money, it is up to you to decide how you want that used on Arena. So here you go. We're gonna start with a pack of Rivals of Ixalan. Rush wanted Rivals. Crack a pack, dude. Right? Shut up. Crack a pack. Gotcha. All right. We're going to start with Rivals, and then we'll go from there. Slippery Scoundrel, not really playable. Enter the Unknown. I've been a little bit curious. Like, why the hell don't we play with this card? Right? I mean, target creature you control explores. And then, like, if it was instant speed, it would be so good, right? So we got a Blood Sun. In some worlds, that would have been worth getting, right? I don't know if it will be in Standard. Yeah, I actually like Enter the Unknown. I don't know why we don't play with this card, but thank you, Poopy Fatty. Sorry, McFats. I've got to get used to the new name. Like, I know it's you, but, McFats, did you see the link I posted for you, sir? I'll try it one more time, but you were looking for more Magic content. So, all right, so let's go open a pack of Core 19. We'll just kind of alternate back and forth. Hey, got an uncommon, and we got our rare card here. So, Pluck a Worm. You know what? That will probably end up in a deck at some point. That's probably good. Probably good. All right. Elvish Rejuvenator, not bad. I mean, that ends up in decks all the time, so good pull there. What else we got? Not really. Maybe at some point. Let's see what the rare is. Twilight Prophet. We got a mythic. There we go. All right, back over to Core Set 19. Ooh, is this a mythic? It kind of glowed red there at the beginning. Another uncommon wild card. Those are great. Vinemare, not a bad card to pick up. Titanic Growth, always nice to have some of those around. We've seen Cavalry Drill Masters show up in a couple of the little mentor decks, so maybe. Ooh, there we go. Another rare wild card. Best card you can possibly pull out of a pack. Alright, last pack of Rivals of Ixalan. And we got our uncommon. So we've also got a common here. Moment of Craving, that's worth playing. Forerunner of the Legion's not a bad card either. So Sphinx's Decree. Each opponent can't cast instant or sorcery spells during that player's next turn. I don't think that answers Niv, is it? Might answer Drake's or Phoenix's though. An Enigma Drake. I think I already had 4 of those, and know I've got 4 Druid of the Cowl. I think so. Gastbark Twins. Not really. Not really. Everything else. Invoke the Divine's playable. Exile target permanent with converted mana cost 1. That's booty. Isolate is booty. but we're a little bit closer there to getting some more rare card or more rare wild cards. So, Rush, thank you very much for sponsoring some pack openings there, and hopefully we'll end up with a deck that you want to see played here on Arena, and then we can play around with that a little bit. Hurry for Isolate! All right, hooray, hooray. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump back over to Magic Online now. Oh, no, not Magic Online. It's so slow and boring. But it works. It works, ladies and gentlemen. It works. There's just so many new things that I've got to get used to on Arena. So, again, I am going to be trying to put in a lot of gameplay. I'm going to be trying to grind to Mythic. And I don't think that's going to be extremely easy, but I don't think it's going to be like stupid hard either. It feels like if you have a deck that has better than a 50% chance, then you're probably going to do pretty good. So, Arena is hard for you to follow. Yeah, it is hard to follow, especially if you don't already know all the cards that are going on. Like they don't look like Magic cards. Like I don't know. I think it'll get easier for us the longer we watch it and the longer we play with it. I'm going to have to learn what all the little symbols are, which honestly, I don't pay attention to the symbols. I just know what the card does and what it like. So that it's going to be strange, but I typically punt because pre-combat. Like I have the majority of my punts at pre-combat on my opponent's turn. They play something like a Legion War Boss, and then they just instantly go to combat, even though I was holding the Lightning Strike to kill it. And that's a nightmare, right? Like, holy crap, you getting that one extra dude could completely change the game. And in any real situation, you would have easily went before combat. You would just like ping it. And I wish that we could leave up certain stops that we can't. That's one of my favorite parts about MTGO is I can go through here and I can put all these stops up and everything, and we can stop wherever we need to, and we can just have that as a reoccurring thing. Like, hey, I've got a treasure map out. I want to stop at the beginning of my upkeep every turn until I turn this off. And I think that is a good thing. However, there's some argument to it not being such a good thing. Oh, what is going on? Oh, we just need to update. Yeah, this is your old list. And then I'll have to get 2 more Dragon Skull Summits. Or, sorry, not Dragon Skull Summits, but Death Gorge Scavengers. I don't know. I was just reading this, I guess. We'll have to get 2 more Death Gorge Scavengers to run your other mono green Stompy list. It's the only thing I'm missing here. Anyway, let's go look at Rush's Jund Superfriends. So, Jund Superfriends here, man, talk about being all in on Vraska's Contempt. When you're running Vraska's Contempt and Settle the Score, well, you are all in, right? You like to mismatch lands and cards? Aw, well, I'm not gonna go break them apart, but these may be mismatched. No, they're all the same. All the same. What a nightmare. I'm sorry. They're not all busted up and different. Anyway, so we've got a lot of Explorer mechanics here. We've got Wild Growth Walker with Merfolk Branch Walkers. We've got Seeker Squires. We've got J-Light Rangers. After that, we can just start playing Rekindling Phoenixes and Planeswalkers all the way up until Carnage Tyrant. And then Find Finale to be able to get back our creatures or to be able to wipe the board, helping to protect our Planeswalkers. We can ultimate our Planeswalkers a little bit quicker by exiling our opponent's stuff and putting additional loyalty counters on our Planeswalkers, which that alone can be really, really good. And then, we can sweep the board with something like a Fiery Cannonade or the Find Finale. And then in the sideboard, we've got the Eldest Reborn. We've got Duress. We've got Lava Coil, which is one of the best one of the best removals in Standard right now. We've also got this sweet little number here. Let me pull this over a little bit more so you guys can see that. Status Statue here. A lot of 4-mana kill spells in this deck. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. And then you also have destroy target artifact, creature, or enchantment at instant speed. So 4-mana kill spell. I mean, we're paying it for Vraska's Contempt, things like that. This has a little bit more versatility. We've got some Amulet of Safekeeping here. Whenever you become the target of a spell or an ability the opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless your opponent pays 1. And then creature tokens get -1, -0. So a little bit of work against tokens, and a little bit of work against like red deck there. They're trying to target you and things like that. So, but it's only when you become a target. So if they're trying to kill our creatures, trying to kill our planeswalkers and stuff, this will do nothing other than just like stop tokens. So, yeah. All right, so the only thing I'm on the fence about with this deck is Vivian Reed in the side. Most of the time in these decks, you just want to play Vivian Reed, use Vivian Reed to dig for your Carnage Tyrant, and then like go from there. That's if you're playing Golgari. This is not a Golgari deck, so we're not going that route. I also think that maybe a Golgari Finebroker would fit really well in this deck, as you lose one of your planeswalkers, you can Golgari Finebroker back into that planeswalker, which is pretty sweet. I kind of like that interaction, getting your planeswalkers back and stuff. Kind of curious why Karn didn't make an appearance in here somewhere, but all in all, deck looks fine. So let's go get a game in and see how well it does. If we can find people playing Magic Online. There's been a panic with Magic Online. I don't really get it. I mean, there's still a lot of people playing, but there's been some panic with Magic Online, and it's been strange. Be informed. Congratulations, man. I think we talked about this last week. That you took second at your PPTQ. I think I've already congratulated you once on this, but I'll say it again. Second place was great. Sucks losing that last match, though, doesn't it? All right, I'm going to keep this Overgrown Tomb into a Swamp, into Seeker Squire, and then just kind of go from there. So the opponent's going to mull to 6, and he'll keep. We'll go with the Overgrown Tomb. Look at me trying to drag my cards up like this is Arena. Jeez. She made you miss draws when you needed board wipes because her uptick ability. She made you see cards you didn't see in the first place. That's a bad way to look at that. That's one of the hardest things Magic players have to do to learn to not look at cards like that. I mean, we can always play this next turn. Doesn't really matter. So I can just play this and just hide the fact that we got red. Just Seeker Squire. What we get. Rekindling Phoenix. I mean, we're probably not going to play it unless we pull another red source. There's 4 in the deck. It's not what I'm looking for right now. Let's go to the graveyard. It's a slower deck, but it runs great. Well, seems good. Let's go ahead and get in for 2. Really don't want to play into this board sweeper here, but I'm going to anyway. Like it is enough to make him fire it off. All right, kind of regretting that, right? It's okay. It's okay. Shock at me. Wow. That means he's deafening Clarioning, right? Another shock at me. Opponent. Brutal. No Deafening Clarion. Okay. We'll play the Merfolk Branchwalker. See if he wants to counter. He does not. Vraska Relic Seeker. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that on top. That is where we're heading. So he needs to deal with the board. All right, so he's gonna start shocking things. Like all these shocks. Lightning Strike. Treasure Map. Well, I am going to try to get this Angrath down. He's got one card left in hand. He may be able to stop this Angrath. We have not seen a counterspell yet. Maybe he just didn't have a big counterspell hand. And he's going to scoop. He's going to scoop to Angrath. Angrath was just too much. Just too much. I mean, he had a lot of burn and things like that, but yeah. Filling the yard for the Drakes, it appears. That's what I thought. I assumed that last card was probably a Drake. So, yeah. Alright. So, what do we want to bring in versus, like, Jeskai Drakes? I think Vivian Reed is really good versus Drakes. I'm actually going to get rid of these Settle the Scores. And I'm going to get rid of Fiery Cannonade. I think these are some of the worst cards in the deck. At least that's two cards that we can bring in. I like Eldest Reborn. And I like Lava Coil. I think that we can get away with not running Golgari Queen. See if we can squeeze in some of these Lava Coils. Maybe drop a Seeker Squire. Run it like that. Drakes have 4 toughness. They do have 4 toughness. They do. Dress for the Clarion. I'm not worried about Clarion. If he's a Drake deck, I kind of doubt he's got Clarion. I could be wrong. I could just be wrong. I'm going to keep. It's a little bit of a risk, especially since these lands are going to come in tapped. But, you know, if we hit a land, we're going to be all right. Alright, well, wouldn't mind having a green source off the top. I'd pay 2 life to have it come in on tap. See if I can slam this J-Light Ranger. There's a treasure map. Oh man, what I would do to have just a Braid back in the format, just to deal with these maps. We need good Artifact 8. I expect that Rakdos will have something, or Gruul will have a decent piece of artifact removal. And if it does, that's going to change the meta a lot. A lot of decks are just relying on these treasure maps and things, and gee. Okay. Here we go. That Clarion Hotline bling? Maybe. Looks like right now he's more worried about trying to get a land. And if he doesn't get a land, he can't stop Angrath. And he may still be too far behind. Can he stop it? Can he stop the Angrath here? Oh, he did have Deafening Clarion. But look, we got it out of his hand. We got a Deafening Clarion out of his hand. That happened. Slam a big dude. Do it. Just slam a dude. Like, just Niv Mizzet right now. You got this. Just Niv Mizzet. Read my Angraph and go, oh, well, it won't kill me. It won't kill me. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Rootbound Crag. I'm not playing Carnage Tyrant here anyway. I still should have played the Rootbound Crag, though. This way I could have played the Jade Light Ranger. Second Deafening Clarion. Look at that. We got 2 out of his hand. Hey, but there aren't any good artifact threats in Standard. Right? You're right. There's just not any good ones. Give me something else to kill. I'm going to make him discard a card here. Gets rid of Lava Coil. Let's play a Lava Coil of our own. Is he going to sack treasures as well to ionize this? Oh man, that's awesome. See if we can get this Eldest Reborn down. You have another counter? This opponent don't want to play with us no more, Rush. He just don't want to play with us. I'm going to say this. This is like twice in the past week that I have played a deck that had multiple Angraphs in it. It has not felt bad. All right. Unfortunately, Rush, we crushed them a little bit too fast, right? But that was a Jeskai Drake's deck. It seemed to have all the pieces and all the parts, but just ran over it. Angrath, man, you beat Drakes last week just like this. Yeah, Angrath is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I like where Angrath is at. Rush, I think that you're running too many. These Settle the Scores need to go, man. Like, Contempt is just better. I mean, if you're going to run it, run Contempt. Like, just Settle the Score is cool. It's cute. But I don't like this card, dude. And there's multiple reasons why I don't like it. I get that you want to make one of your Planeswalkers great, but I think this could be, like, if you want a 4-drop here, Golgari Finebroker, man. To be able to get back your Planeswalkers after they've actually, like, killed them, beat them down, or whatever. Being able to get back, like, you know, a Wild Growth Walker. I think that these 2 cards should be 2 copies of Golgari Finebroker. And everything else I kind of like about the deck. Everything looks pretty sweet. That's about it. You don't have it in the deck. I just tested it for you. Ah, cool. The card's just really slow. I would go with... do I have Finebroker? I might have Finebroker. Do I have Finebroker? I do. I think I would run it something close to this. Probably. Like, this seems fine. I get why you don't have the J-Light, like more J-Light Rangers, but Angrath is great. Like, Angrath is in such a good spot in the meta right now. Yeah, I mean, if you're coming up against a lot of mono white and stuff like that, then it ain't that. Then maybe that's not the greatest thing in the world, but Angrath is awesome. Like, he just wrecks control decks. If you resolve this thing, I mean, he just wrecks control decks. So, Angrath, the Flame Chain, doing work. I like the deck though, Rush. I like where you went with it. I hate the fact that, you know, we're trying to do like double green for the J-Light Rangers. We're trying to do double red for the Rekindling Phoenix. We're trying to do double black for the Vraska's Contempt. I just don't think that we're in a good spot for the mana base to be as, you know, smooth and as consistent as we're going to want it to be. But all in all, the deck's pretty solid, and it was a lot of fun. I love crushing control and stuff, so Awesome. All right, next deck. We've got Grixis. This might be a fast night, guys. If it is a fast night, we'll go like do something else. I don't know. Anyway, all right, Grixis. This one's by GZA, SDGZA, longtime patron and member of the community. So GZA, if you're watching, pretty sweet deck here, sir. Kind of like what you got going on. I also like the fact that the deck tops out at 5. We're not trying to play anything more than 5 converted mana cost, but look at this. He is dead set on playing 5 converted mana cost spells. We've got 3 Ravenous Chupacabras. We've got 3 Rituals of Soot. We've got Nicol Bolas. We've got 4 Doom Whisperers, 4 Eldest Reborn, and then we've got a ton of other things that we can do to the opponent. We can Thought Scour them to rip their hand apart. We can Notion Rain to draw some more cards. We can counter their spells with Sinister Sabotage. We can bounce their stuff back to their hand, then counter it again. Or bounce it back to their hand, then play a Nicol Bolas and make them, discard it. We've got Search for Azcanta to help us look for all the things that aren't Nicol Bolas, Ravenous Chupacabra, and Doom Whisperer. So pretty straightforward, like neat and to the point deck. Kind of like what you got going on here. You're just planning on like wiping the board of all the early stuff, picking off the big stuff, countering other big stuff, keep making sure they don't have a lot of things on the board so that you can play your Eldest Reborns, and then once you kind of get ahead, you slam Obama Doom Dong or whatever. That's some Pickle Rick stuff right there, right? Throw your Doom Whisperers down and run over. So yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. The deck draws so much land, you don't worry. Plus it's mid-range. You've almost got, you've almost gone to time with it a few times. Ouch! And he at Sideboardmtg twice in the same comment. I got you, Rush. I got you. You got any brews of my own to show us if we're done early? Not really. I have not been brewing a Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, right? I actually don't. I have not been brewing a whole lot. I was playing around with a Sultai deck for a little bit. Kind of backed off it because like Golgari was just better. Alright, so there's an article. Let me cover this. Let me cover this sideboard real quick. Sideboard, all the good stuff. Thief of Sanity to bring in game 2s. We've got Lava Coil because it's one of the best removals. We got a little bit more early board wipe against those aggressive decks. We got some duress to rip cards out of their hand to go along with the hand disruption we have in the main board. And we've got more copies of Negate to deal with the control decks so that we can force in our things. All in all, I like the sideboard. I think that there could probably be a little bit more diversity in the sideboard, but the sideboard looks pretty straightforward. Like the entire deck, this entire deck looks like streamlined. Like this is the plan. So yeah. No, there's too many like 3 and 4 ofs for a James deck. Like a James Clugston deck is it's your typical Grixis deck where you've got 1 copy of this and then 1 copy of that and then this 1 copy of this over here, but your mana is all like completely perfect so that you can do everything at a 90% chance at like hitting that mana on turn. James puts so much work into his decks, but he also runs quite a bit of diversity. So as far as me brewing around with anything, like I was playing with Sultai for a little bit, and then Arena has kind of like killed my brew. Like trying to play Arena, just like I've played around with a lot of brews because I don't really have the cards to build it the way I want. Like I don't really have the cards to build the way I want to build them, so I'm having to find alternate cards and things, and that part's kind of fun, but I'm not really enjoying like brewing per se, just because there's like, okay, I get to brewing, it's like I want this, this, and this, okay, these cards are like 75 cents in the real world, and it's going to cost me like $35 worth of packs to get enough wild cards to pull the 75 cents worth of cards. Yeah, that part, that drives me crazy. So, but yeah, I've basically just been spending my extra Magic time playing Arena, and Arena sucks. Like this is where Magic's going, and man, it just feels so bad. Like the fact that you can't trade cards. Like no dust system, no. Like Magic is about being able to get the cards you want so that you can play the strategy you want to play. And if you can't do that, that's where we're going, though. Welcome to Magic in 2019, ladies and gentlemen. MTG Arena. Suck it up. Let's go. And like sorting through cards and stuff is also a nightmare. They did add some things to the sort, but yeah. Okay, so Kenneth here, actually, I'm glad Kenneth just popped in. A big part of your post was thinking about Arena and brewing different decks. Okay, so that was the article or post I was going to talk about. Kenneth's actually saying, and you can, like, I didn't like in depth read it, so I'm not going to be able to quote you, front and back. But he's basically talking about, like, does it feel like Arena is kind of like killing Magic? Like it's putting the stigma on Magic where you can't play what you want to play because you can't get the cards, and then you're forced to play decks that you don't want to play, and then like blah, right? It's just, I don't want to play this deck. I want to go play Golgari, or I want to play Grixis, and I don't have 4 Doom Whisperers or 4 mythic wild cards to be able to get 4 Doom Whisperers. So cheaper than Modern. See, I like the manatraders thing where you pay a flat rate, and once you pay a flat rate, you just go play all the Magic you want. Like maybe Arena should have that, right? Like, here, you don't actually have a collection, but as long as you pay your monthly subscription, $15 a month, you get to play with all the cards, right? Like, I don't know, maybe not. I mean, they're trying to turn it into an MMO anyway, so why not? Let's play this deck. I'm tired of listening to you run your mouth. Sorry, that's probably a bad impression of you, Robert. I don't even know what you sound like. But yeah, let's play this deck. By the way, heads up, y'all. I got a mono blue merfolk deck on the Reddit for next week. Don't make me play mono blue merfolk. It's up to you guys to not make me play mono blue merfolk. You could do it. I mean, hell, we'll surveil away any lands that we have, and then we'll just go from here. I mean, man, I'm still trying to pick my cards up and throw them. Just throw them onto the table. You're mad because we won fast. If we would have lost, you'd have been mad because we lost fast. I can't control that, Rush. I can't. Dragon Skull Summit seems fine here. I just want to rip away whatever his turn 3 play is gonna, or his 3 mana play is gonna be. Like, so whatever he's about to be able to do, I want to stop that. Okay, I don't care. He can have Thunderherd Migration. I'm going to take, we'll put that in the grave. I'm going to take his Carnage turn because that seems like a thing. So the choice is watch Eric suffer or watch Merfolk win. I don't know if I like that, Rocker. I don't know if I like that at all. Yeah, just watch Eric suffer. No, I mean, if it's a good deck, if you like the mono blue merfolk, vote for it. I actually figure if I say that, please don't make me play it. You got, like, you know, the Bunny in the Briar Patch thing. Yeah, anybody remember that as a kid? Yeah, better than not winning. I did try to talk about your deck a little bit. I need to get rid of this Lana War Elf. He's not revealing anything. I mean, because if he gets into another Carnage Tyrant, then I'm in trouble. Okay. I was really hoping that we, like, to counter something that was worth countering. Don't be a Carnage Tyrant. What is this? Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a... Yeah. That's worth countering. I mean, I'm probably not going to be activating any abilities of lands or anything, but... Oh, yeah. We'll put that on top. That's where we want to be. See if we can run away with this little tempo game. I mean, the opponent just got flooded. So, just play the Doom Whisperer, right? Pass? Haven't seen any major decks out of Naya this season. Opposite of what you were expecting before the release. See, I actually expected Naya to be really good too. The big Naya deck is the Sarkhan's Unsealing deck. It still shows up. It is winning 5-0s from time to time on Magic Online. That sort of thing. Like, as much crap as I give the give that deck, like, it's not like super horrible. And it does 5-0, and like people have taken it to, you know, top 32s and top 16s. So the Sarkhan's Unsealing deck, it is a deck. It really is a deck. All right. Let's make our opponent get rid of something. Oops. Untap that. Untap that last land. Like, what does he get rid of here? Lana Whirl? Like, we have played 4 spells this game. Thought Erasure, Sinister Sabotage, Doom Whisperer, Eldest Reborn. That is it. Why did we not surveil on upkeep? What was I trying to get there, Robert? Like, what would I want to surveil for? I have everything I needed in my hand. Like, I mean, I get that surveil to surveil. I get it. But, like, what am I digging for? Like, I don't have enough information on what I want to get. So, I don't know what to surveil for. Now, maybe surveilling for a removal spell here would be pretty sweet. But I was thinking I was playing Eldest Reborn this turn, and there's no 1-drops in the deck. So I don't think that there was anything that I could have surveilled for. Maybe just to make sure there's not a land on top. Ouch! That's 14 to the face. $14 to the face. All right. Opponent's going to discard a card. Well, this looks like death to me. I mean, we're dead, right? Still dead. Efficiency? Would have just got us killed. There's nothing we could have surveilled for that would have helped us. Nothing. We could have played Bolus last turn. If I would have surveilled, I could have played Bolus last turn. Like, what would have playing Bolus last turn have done? Like, we would have been 2 cards deeper, right? So, no, I don't think we were supposed to surveil right there. Yeah. If we would have surveilled, we would have just been dead. We would have still just been dead. I don't think there was a line there where we would have surveilled. I did surveil so that you guys could see what the next 2 cards were. But I don't think there was a line where paying 2 life to dig further would have saved us. I just don't. I am going to bring in Lava Coils here over Search for Escanta. I know Search for Escanta is really good, but I'm still bringing in the Lava Coils. Thief of Sanity looks like it's probably going to be better than Notion Rain for drawing cards. Maybe keep a Search for Escanta. Maybe we just don't run Notion Rain. Right, just run like this. Like Lava Coils, a couple of Search for Escantas, Thief, that sort of thing. So, if you were to surveil last upkeep, you would have Bolus on top, played it, killed one of the 3 that attacked you. How would we have killed one of the 3 that attacked us? Like, he wouldn't have swung into Bolus. That, or we would have traded Bolus for Regisaur Alpha and took 3 plus the Llanowar Elf, which would have still been taking 4 more points of damage. Like, I don't, like, maybe there's a line, Robert, but I didn't see it, dude. And if it's a punt, it's a punt. I can't go back now, so there's definitely no point in putting more effort or more mental effort into what could have been done. There's just no point. I'll keep the hand. I'm really not, like, super happy with all the Rituals of Soot, but I am happy with multiple Thought Erasures, Blink of an Eye, that sort of thing, so we'll go from there. So just doing all possible things just to be doing all possible things is not necessarily a good way to go, guys. Like, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. I'll just take the Carnage Tyrant for now. Oh, Bolus on top seems pretty decent. Considering we'll get to go Steam Vents and Thought Erasure again this turn. And that will give us another Surveil to look for another land. Ooh, Carnage Tyrant. Words to live by with Sideboardmtg. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Alright, so we'll go Steam Vents tapped. We're gonna rip on his hand again. Anything that's not, like, if it's not a land, I'm getting rid of it. Alright, so yeah, Ripjaw, Ripjaw. Alright, well, bye Doom Whisperer. If it's not a land, it doesn't do us any good, right? Life finds a way. When you know what the opponent's got going on? I mean, like, there's a bunch of times just because I have the mana to play a card doesn't mean that I'm going to play it. Like, I want to play this particular card because it's going to make him discard a card, and I'm willing to take 4 from a Ripjaw Raptor. So, yeah, I'm going to play this, but I could play Blink of an Eye. So, I don't know. When it costs you life, right? Yeah, that's a good reason. Oh no. I mean, we can deal with that. So we kind of win this race. Commune with dinosaurs. All right. We'll see what he gets. If he gets a Carnage Tyrant, we're in a little bit of trouble. Another Ripjaw Raptor. Okay. That is going to be problematic. Put this Ripjaw back in his hand. Draw a card. It's a Sulfur Falls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're almost there. Right, like, take for example Mono Blue Tempo. A lot of times you just have a lot of cards that you can just like throw down. Like, you could just play cards. But sometimes just because it, like, even though it may seem like a bad time to play a card, it's also can be a really good time to play a card. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to go Ripjaw Raptor here. I'm going to Ritual of Soot just to save 2 points of life. So, Ritual of Soot here, we save 2 points of life, we get rid of the Runic Armor Sore, we also keep him from drawing a card when we activate an ability that's not a mana ability next turn. So, we got some options. We got some options. Are you live right now? Tyler Carr! Hi, Tyler. Tyler, you're watching a pre-recording. I am that good. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's not bad. Blue, red, black, all of these blue. Okay, so we have a Nicol Bolas. What do we want? I am a fan of Carnage Tyrant. I mean, he's got 0 cards in hand. Doom Whisperer also does it, and Doom Whisperer kills him next turn. No. It's the Carnage Tyrant. Right? I mean, he gets to kill Bolas. Now he's got a debate on whether or not he swings in. At Bolas, at Bolas, at Bolas. Alright, well, I'm definitely going to try to take one out of commission here. We'll let Bolas die. Bolas bought a lot of time for us. I mean, yes, the opponent's going to get to draw a card. But, oh man, what did you get, opponent? Another Ripjaw Raptor. We have seen all 4 Ripjaw Raptors. There's 2 in the grave, 2 on the battlefield. What a thing. That's pretty good. That is a pretty good. So, swing. He does stop some of the damage. Draws him another card. We're going to go a Doom Whisperer. I don't see any reason to cast Lava Coil. Right? When you just top deck that perfect card, you're just so good at Magic. And the opponent, man, he sucks at Magic. He got a Llanowar Elf. We're on turn 8, and he drew a Llanowar Elf. He's so bad at Magic. Coil the Elf. He's got enough 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 mana. He can cast anything in the deck. I don't see a reason to coil the Elf. Like, it's just, that doesn't cause us to win the game. That Elf also doesn't cause us to lose the game. I don't have a reason to coil the Elf. Like, turn 2, coil the hell out of the Elf. Kill the Elf. Kill it. But it act like, what would coiling the Elf have done to okay, he could have easily also tapped any of his other land, right? A great cut. Right? Best part of Magic is that great cut. This is SDGZA's Grixis mid-range. Like Grixis powerhouse deck. Do it to flex on him, right? Okay. Fight with Fire or Star of Extinction. Okay. He had 7 mana, so he could cast Star of Extinction. Yes, he would have been able to dome me for 10 with Fight with Fire. So, no, he would not have, because he would have still only had 8 mana, because he just played the next Elf. Surveil? Robert. Really, dude? Because what did I need to finish the game? Like, why would I surveil there? Because I can? That's some like win more thinking, Robert. And win more will take you down a bad path, bro. Like, it really will. We need to draw things. Like, this hand loses. Unless he just has like Llanowar, and some other cheap stuff, this hand just loses. Well, we don't answer Ripjaw. We don't answer, and we're on the draw. Do it. All right. We're gonna keep. I kind of wanted to keep it anyway. Four lands and a Ritual of Sit. I mean, if the opponent has that, that. Really? Like, you're going to play a land this game, right? Okay. If the opponent has one of those hands where, you know, we get to rip him apart because he's going to be playing like Llanowar Elves and things like that, but I don't think he's going to. I think if he had Llanowar, he would have played, you know, Temple Garden. Like, he would have played Temple Garden. So, all right, here we go. Go get him, son! Alex23, what's up, sir? How are you? We get good. We good, dude. We good. Oh, okay, we good. My bad. Said it wrong. Said it wrong. I don't know, like Doom Whisperer into Doom, like Nicol Bolas into Doom Whisperer. That's pretty good. Tyler Carr. It doesn't work like that. There's no line. What you have to do is you actually have to submit your deck over on the Sideboardmtg subreddit. We got like 300 subscribers over there on the Reddit. It's becoming a decent sized little Reddit, but a lot of feedback and stuff like that's given over there. So what you got to do is you got to post your deck over on the Sideboardmtg subreddit, and then after you post your deck on the subreddit, you've got to get enough votes. If you win the number of votes for a given week, if you, maybe I should have held up the Sinister Sabotage to stop the Ripjaw Raptor next turn, but I don't think he's got Ripjaw. Otherwise, I think he would have paid 2 life for it. But anyway, like if you get the most votes in a given week, the top 2 decks are based on the most votes. The third deck is a deck of my choice. This week I picked Mono Green Stompy, which happened to be Madden's deck. Yeah. All right. So what does he swing with here? Nothing. I'm going to race him. But yeah, most votes gets their deck played, and then I pick one of the week. Man, another Regisaur Alpha. Okay, opponent. All right, so this race is not going so well for us. So just hit the brakes. Okay, Choops, you're up. We're not just dead here. How do you tag on this? Never figured that out on the chat. Just type @ and then from the @ sim, like the @. Oh, this is brutal. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we don't need that. If I play this, kill the Ripjaw Raptor, trade Nicol Bolas for... I played Doom Whisperer. I think Doom Whisperer is the way to go. We're not going to be surveilling, but I think this is the right route. Hopefully he doesn't have removal. I haven't seen much removal from the opponent, but he could be running like 2 or 3 pieces, and he just never ran into it earlier. If he has removal, we're just dead here. The safe play was more than likely like Ravenous Chupacabra. Well, crap. Alright? Like, yeah, Ravenous Chupacabra on the Regisaur Alpha was a safer play. Alright, well. Got ran over by dinos. Dragons are dinos, right? Maybe. Maybe dinos are dragons. Dinos are wingless dragons. Okay, well that was Powerful Grixis. Powerful Grixis by SDGZA. No, there are no cast down in the list. James, I am not going to get into Senior Grixis control over here about what should and shouldn't be in this list. I was talking about it earlier that I think that there should be a couple more items in the list that would give the list a little more diversity, and I think those should be in the list. All in all, though, it was a fun list. I like the idea of it being, streamlined to, we're going to just like play this Nicol Bolas, we're going to play this Doom Whisperer. The big problem that I have with this deck is a lot of the cards are really, really mana hungry. Like so, like, you're not going to be able to play like Nicol Bolas and have enough mana up to like Sinister Sabotage until you've got like 7 mana. And right now, like, Magic's being defined in the first 5 turns. So if you're not going to get to 7 mana, then like you're not going to be able to like play multiple spells per turn. There's a lot of 4 drops, a lot of 5 drops, and I don't think the deck actually needs that many of those. But all in all, I like the idea of the deck. I like where the deck's going. And if I was going to say, like, where would I go with Grixis, I would pick the tier 1.5 list. That is this list. Like, I've got it listed as a tier 1.5 deck. It's just a, like, straight up Niv Mizzet version of Grixis. Now, some of these lists are running one copy. One copy. I have started to see one copy of Detection Tower showing up in this list and in the Golgari list, which I don't know if you can play the Detection Tower in a Niv Mizzet deck, but if you can, then it's one with multiple treasure maps so that you can scry and you can look through and stuff like that. So all in all, the deck's Grixis has got a lot of power, and there's a lot of ways that you can go about it. When you look at your traditional Grixis list, there's there's one of this, there's one of this, there's 2 of this, there's 2 here of Lava Coil, there's 3 Thought Erasures, 2 Ionize, 2 Golden Demise, 2 Vraska's Contempt, 2 Eldest Reborn. Not a lot of 4-ofs. That's normally not that's normally not where you really want to be in a Grixis control deck. Grixis is all about like seeing a lot of cards and having a lot of different answers, a lot of different lines, and I think that's where I think that's where you want to be with Grixis. So that's my advice on the powerful Grixis list. I like the idea that the deck did stop at 5 mana. However, I think that the most powerful Grixis lists are no longer Doom Whisperer lists. That they are. I think that they are the Niv Mizzet. Like, Niv Mizzet is the way I like to put Niv Mizzet is Niv Mizzet's the new the Scarab God. Remember, if you let them untap with the Scarab God, the game was over. Like, it was just over. Like, there was no coming back from that. McFats, one moment. Like, Niv Mizzet is there. Like, if you let them untap with Niv Mizzet, then you're probably about to lose the game. Like, they're going to draw enough cards that they're going to have enough things in play. You guys seen us play with Niv Mizzet on Arena earlier? If you were watching the Arena stream earlier, I was playing with Niv Mizzet when we were doing the Keebler event. Brian Keebler, when we were doing his event, we were playing with Niv Mizzet, and he's just stupid powerful. Even in that deck, it was just really, really powerful. So, all right. So, McFats asked about Esper control. And, all right. The best Esper control deck I have been able to find is this one, and the only variant in this and some of the other Esper control decks are the Lyra Dawnbringers, right? Like, some people aren't running the Lyra Dawnbringers; they're just running, the 4 Teferi and the 1 Chromium. I actually chose the Lyra Dawnbringer list to keep pulled up for my testing and stuff. I like the Lyra Dawnbringer version of the deck. I think it's got a lot of like pull to get you back into the game. I started pulling this list, when the mono white was like really taking off. Right now, we're having a lot of mono red control players. There's a lot of people that got a lot of red cards out there that have spent a lot of money last season on their red cards and still have all of these cards. And then this mono red control deck pulls up, and it's got good matchups against Golgari, or even matchups against Golgari. It can go into the late game against the just got control decks and things. So the mono red deck that sprang up, you really want to have some life gain. So with all the mono red and the mono white decks that are being played, and the Boros decks and stuff, that I think the Lyra Dawnbringer is where you want to be. I think the Moment of Cravings are where you want to be. And like if you want to go with the Chromium, you can. I think Chromium is better suited for that meta where you think that you're going to be playing against a lot of control decks. If you don't think that you're going to be playing lots of control decks, then just play Lyra. Like, Lyra is going to be better. Whereas if you're playing against a lot of control decks, you're probably never going to hit with Lyra anyway, and you probably don't need the life gain anyway. So that's my thoughts on this deck. Is the choices are really just like, what is going to be your backup for your Teferi? Like what is your backup? Is your backup going to be Chromium, or is it going to be Lyra? And I don't think there's a lot of choices to pick something else, right? Like, I think it's either going to be Chromium or it's going to be Lyra. And you can pick and choose what you want. But personally, I liked the list that had the 2 Lyras in it. Just thought it was nice and smooth, and when I did play it, it was pretty smooth. So all the decks I've got pulled up over here are your 12 decks of Christmas that are going to be coming out here soon. I've been talking about the 12 decks of Christmas, but it's my tier list, right? Tier 1, tier 1.5, tier 2, that sort of thing. So, but we got that coming up eventually. All right, mono green Stompy. Okay, so I need to get to mono green Stompy 2. Madness, I'm making a change to your deck, dude. I'm not going to play the 2 Deathgorge Scavengers because I don't want to wait 5 minutes to go get them. I mean, I guess I could, right? Just 2 Deathgorge Scavengers. What did you have in the sideboard of the other one? Crushing Canopy? Vinemare? You had Vinemare? Vinemare seems good. Oh, you still got Vinemare. No Crushing Canopy. Oh, okay, so you got Vivian for Crushing Canopy. I mean, you got Sentinel Totem. Hey. Tyrant's not spelled like that. We'll put a Carnage Tyrant and... What else? Give me a card that I might have. I don't know. I mean, I can go pick up the cards. Jade Light. Storm Lieutenant. You took the Gigantosaurs out, didn't you? Is Galta still in the deck? Yeah, Galta's still in there. Nullhide Ferox. Venture's Impulse. Shaper Sanctuary? I know I don't have a Sanctuary. I know I don't have a Shaper Sanctuary. No way. Alright. Take 5, everyone. We're gonna go get some cards. Manatraders! Ripjaw Raptor? That'd be cool. Alright. Ripjaw Raptor would be decent. What's the 6 mana pump spell that gives Overrun 3 times? It doesn't give Overrun. It gives +3/+3 3 times. I don't think it gives Trample. Overrun's got Trample in it. But I like where you're going with that. So we're going to clear. Deathgorge Scavenger. We need 2 of them. We'll grab them. Bounty of Might. Yeah. There you go. Good evening, Mr. Drake. How are you doing, sir? We're picking up the last 2 cards needed for Madness here. It's just 2 cards. It shouldn't take too long for them to show up with it. You want to use that card so bad, but you can never find room for it. Yeah. Like, it's an interesting card. Am I going to be doing a meta breakdown? I saw that I posted other videos today, but haven't checked them. So yes, I am. Part of the, like, that's kind of what the 12 days of Christmas is. The 12 decks of Christmas is I'm doing, like, state of standard, meta coverage, that sort of thing. Like, I want to do, like, state of Magic, right? State of standard, that sort of thing. But I'm afraid that if I do those videos, I'm going to turn into like Desolator Magic, or somebody who's just sitting around bitching about Magic all the time, or oh, this is this and this is that. When in all reality, I'm more of the person of this is where we're at. You know, like this is what we got to do. This is, if you want to be able to do this or that, like this is what has to happen. So I'm not really one who, you know, really wants to put out a video just, yes, bring on the toxic, right? Exactly. Like, do we want to go down that road? Like, we want to talk about, okay, so, you know, these are the numbers, because you can find those. Like, you can find the numbers of you know, how many people have been playing Magic the Gathering, how many people are playing, you know, other things. So I might get more views or subscribers that way, right? It seems like the more drama you put on, the more people want to watch, right? Because that's what people do. They want to watch all the drama. All right, so let me pull that Carnage Tyrant out. We'll get Death Go. All right, we've got a deck. All right, so let's talk about Madness's deck here a little bit. Enough of worrying about like toxic and stuff. Work for Lion and Unsleeved Media. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, Lion has admitted in his videos. He has straight up said, he's like, more people will watch the videos that have drama on them. So, you know, like, I mean, you can't like dog the man for what people want to see. I mean, if people want to see it, people want to see it. I mean, Purple blew up, and like that was Purple's gig, was he jumped in on the drama thing. But I also like to look at things like Rogue Deck Builder, and I kind of feel like Rogue Deck Builder kind of like went a different direction when he went into, you know, more drama and stuff. But there were some points that he really had some opinions on, and he really just wanted to put, you know, his opinion out on them. And I don't know if it was a plus or a negative for him to, you know, to go more to the drama thing. But, you know, a lot of YouTubers do that. You know, they do start talking about, you know, hey, this is going on, and, you know, like, this is happening in the community, and, you know, and people want to be informed about that type of stuff. But I don't see a positive in shedding a light on the negative. Yes, sometimes shedding light into the darkness can brighten the way. But yet, sometimes you're just leading more people into the darkness and then flipping the light switch off behind them, and then they're stuck in the dark. You know, like, you start leading people down this road of drama, and then that's all they're worried about is, you know, what's the next dramatic thing here, you know, in Magic, and that's all they're worried about, and they're no longer worried about, you know, actual Magic. And, you know, and you get stuck on, you know, talking about the negatives of Magic all the time, then you don't really have, you know, a lot of positives out there and things like that. I don't know. I don't think it's a healthy way to be. So I'm more the one who is like, okay, look, Magic is moving to Arena. Yes, we're still going to be playing MTGO. Yes, we're still going to be playing paper. But a lot of the online content is going to be coming from Arena. And it's, you know, it's like, do this, get with the program, or kind of get left behind. Or sit in the back, you know, being left behind and scream about it the whole time. So, you know, that sort of thing. So, anyway, we've got this mono green deck. I've run my mouth long enough about that particular subject. Let's talk about Magic cards and this mono green deck. All right, I want to start out here with Beast Whisperer, right? Great card. whenever you cast a creature spell, you're going to get to draw a card, right? Just cast a creature spell, draw you a card, right? If you think Keebler's little, cast a creature spell with 4 mana cost or greater, draw a card is good. Beast Whisperer says, I don't give a what you cast. Play a Llanowar Elf, play a Pelt Collector, play a Merfolk, Branchwalker, or a Thorn Lieutenant, Steel Leaf Champion, or a Jadelight Ranger. You're still drawing a card if you have your Beast Whisperer down. And all those cards I just mentioned, they are in the deck. We have that beautiful turn 1 Llanowar into a turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion draw. If we don't hit that, we can Llanowar into a Jadelight Ranger, maybe fix our mana base a little bit, something like that. These Jadelight Rangers and Merfolk Branchwalkers, even if you come out with that slow curve, right, which that is going to happen sometime because you can't have Llanowar in every opening hand. But with all of these 1-drops, maybe we can at least have a Pelt Collector, which works really good on the curve, going from Pelt Collector into a Merfolk Branchwalker into like Steel Leaf Champion, or maybe even a Jadelight Ranger. You can turn 2 into a Thorn Lieutenant, still triggering your Pelt Collector. So a lot of action there. I love the early turns of this deck. There's a lot of people out there that are really, really big on mono green Stompy. I've had a lot of questions about mono green Stompy over the past couple weeks. People have been leaving messages in the comments and things like that saying, hey, can you lead me to a good, mono green Stompy list? And unfortunately, I've had to tell a lot of people that, there's not a really good spot for mono green Stompy right now. And I can tell you why. All right, there's one reason why mono green Stompy is not that great right now, and that's because it relies on the backbone of that turn 1 Llanowar into the turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion win, right? You just hit that Steel Leaf Champion. If they can't answer it, you just win, right? Well, the thing about that is one of the most used kill spells in Standard right now is Lava Coil. And it just so happens to pair up very nicely with cards like Steel Leaf Champion, Jadelight Ranger, Merfolk Branchwalker. Like, it kills everything in this deck. And it exiles them, so it won't even help it work with something like a Pelt Collector, which is one of the best 1-drops we've seen in a long time in green. So there's a lot going on for Steel Leaf or for mono green, but I just don't necessarily think that it's in a perfect spot in the meta right now, mainly because of the Drakes deck and the Jeskai Control deck. Because Jeskai Control and Drakes are 2 of the top tier decks in the format. Granted, it's got a lot to do with the fact that they have some of the best removal, Deafening Clarion, Lava Coil, things of that nature. But Lava Coil is a big one to help shut these decks down. Now, I am going to go ahead and step out on a limb here and say that if I were going to make any changes to this deck, just looking at it, Madness, if your Deathgorge Scavengers are here for the incremental life gain that you can get from eating creatures out of your opponent's graveyard, then this would be better served as a couple sideboard copies of Wildgrowth Walker. You have the Merfolk Branchwalkers, you have the Jadelight Rangers. I think Wildgrowth Walker would have fit really well into your sideboard. You have the Sentinel Totems for those moments where you want to wreck their graveyard. However, I actually like Deathgorge Scavenger for picking at their graveyard more so than I do Sentinel Totem exiling the entire graveyard. So maybe the Sentinel Totems need to be Wildgrowth Walkers and keep the Deathgorge Scavengers in for graveyard hate or something like that. But I would probably play around with a couple Wildgrowth Walkers in the sideboard, maybe even drop a Vine Mayor or something, just because I think that would be a really good spot for you. Now, as you start getting a little bit higher up on the curve and you get a little bit later into the game, you're going to be able to play 6/6s for 4. You're going to be able to play your Carnage Tyrant, so you're going to be able to play 12/12s for 2. What? 6/6s for 4 and 12/12s for 2. That's the plan, right? But all in all, it's a pretty sweet little deck. Mono green Stompy can win some games. It's not like the worst deck in the world. It's just in a bad spot because of the removal that people are using right now. It just lines up with the mono green deck really well. So that's kind of why we're not seeing a lot of mono green. So for those of you that are mono green lovers out there, it's just not your time, okay? If you like mono green, give it a little bit of time. Gruul is coming, all right? I know that's not mono green, but that style of deck, Gruul is coming. Okay, so I see your sideboard as slots. When I look at a sideboard, I don't necessarily look at the cards themselves at first. I look at slots. Barry Drake, I'm going to go back and address your comment that you made earlier. It is kind of slid off screen, but I'm going to go back and address your comment that you made earlier because, in just a moment. When I see this slot, I see this as you have 2 cards dedicated to graveyard removal. Okay. If these 2 cards are dedicated to graveyard removal, then what are these 2 cards? Do you think that you need 4 cards dedicated to graveyard removal? So, like, do you think you need 4 cards dedicated to graveyard removal? And if you do think that you need 4 cards dedicated to graveyard removal, then maybe you should, maybe you have the right cards here. However, if you don't think you need that many cards dedicated to graveyard removal, pick which one you need, and then you have freed up another slot, which I think the other slot should be for aggressive decks to gain life, which is kind of the other option here on Deathgorge Scavenger. If you think that Sentinel Totem is better at graveyard removal, and that's your key piece, that's what you want to use for graveyard removal, then cool, use Sentinel Totem. Then change Deathgorge Scavenger to something that can gain you more life, like Wildgrowth Walker. If you think that Wildgrowth Walker, or if you think that Deathgorge Scavenger is enough graveyard removal, then you have opened up 2 more slots that you could put something else in here for. And the one thing that I'm seeing that you're kind of missing is a little bit of extra life gain to kind of get into that late game so you can start slamming those Carnage Tyrants and kind of going from there. Because let's face it, against a red deck or something, you gain 6 life and then make it to a Carnage Tyrant, you're probably winning that game. But anyway, that's how I see the sideboard. I see, like, you slot your sideboard out like this deck. I need to have answers for this deck. I need to have answers for this deck. I need to have answers for this deck. And you go through those and you say, okay, well, I'm more likely to see this deck, so I'm gonna put a 4-card slot in my sideboard to help me fight that deck, or to help me fight this archetype. And then as you go from there, like say, okay, well, I'm a little bit less likely to see this deck, but I'm still likely to see it, so I want to put 3 cards in my sideboard to help me deal with this other particular deck. And then so on and so on until your sideboard's full and you have answers for all likely outcomes. And then you try to use the best cards available for your strategy to assist with beating those outcomes. And the best way to choose those cards is to know beforehand exactly how you want to play against those decks. So, like, if you know against, an aggressive deck you need to be faster, then maybe a creature that gained life would be better than just a card that would gain life, or something like that. So, what about Diamond Mare? You don't like Walker as a 2-of, and besides that, we don't have as much Explorer as, say, a Golgari list would. How don't you? You have exactly as much as most Golgari lists. Most Golgari lists are only running Merfolk Branchwalker and Jade Light Ranger. Like, a lot of them have backed off of the Seeker Squires. Like, we're seeing some Seeker Squires, but not a ton. I mean, you got 2 Seeker Squires here. You got Merfolk Branchwalker, Jade Light Ranger. We go look at some of the other lists. Some of them still got Seeker Squires, but let's pull up another list here. No Seeker Squires, just Merfolk Branchwalker, Jade Light Ranger. Here's another list. 1 Seeker Squire, and then 2 Seeker Squires. So I mean, you've got pretty much like close to the others. So yeah, I mean it's one of those things. All right. Anyway, we're gonna go We're going to go play this deck. Let's go play this deck, shall we? Alright, real quick, while I'm waiting on an opponent, I am going to go up here and, so Barry Drake mentioned something, because we were talking about it something a minute ago. We were talking about positivity and negativity in the community. Barry Drake said he likes the positivity of the channel and the community, and keep it up. He watches Jeremy and Desolator, as do I. This is the part I wanted to talk about. I watch them as well. I try to watch as much Magic content as possible so I stay more informed. So some of you may be like, I can't believe you watch these people. Well, you kind of need to, right? So yeah, there's a lot of rants, there's a lot of drama, and it can get pretty boring. That, and it can get to the point where you're watching a lot about stuff that's no longer Magic, or no longer has anything to do with what's going to happen to you at FNM this Friday. Now, sometimes it's very good stuff that we need to talk about, but sometimes it's not. This was probably a bad hand to keep, but it's good. We'll make it work. Jerry Mouse says, Jeskai Dragon deck competitive. I haven't seen one pop up, Jerry. Like, if you might be able to make a competitive Jeskai Dragons deck, but I mean, there was the Boros Dragons deck that was actually a little bit of competitive, towards the beginning of the season, but even that has kind of died down a little bit. We haven't seen that since the Demanding Dragon bug was fixed. There was this bug with Demanding Dragon. Don't be a land. Don't give me a land. I don't need a land yet. I'll pull one off the Jade Light later. Alright, whatever. You saying this is definitely a bad bad hand and no black mana in our mono green list? You troll. You tried Price of Fame, Joshua Vest last night. MTGO made you pay 4. What? See, that's some cockamamie right there. Some cockamamie. Cockamamie bullcrap. Yeah, like I run into that earlier with Price of Fame, like not really runnable because of the glitch on it, which might be why we're not seeing a lot of people play with it, because they can't really test with it. So I need to play with Price of Fame on Arena and see if it does the same on Arena. So I'm gonna still leave Champion here. Just get me a good aggressive threat down while he can't counter, and then make him deal with this. So Darian said he's on the other side of this. Like what do you mean? Yeah, it wouldn't let me. Yeah, I remember trying to play it against Tajik, but I haven't tried it on Arena yet. So Price us right on Arena. Works on Arena. Price is right on Arena. Okay. Well, there's a cast down. All right, he dealt with that. So we get a Jade Light. Or we just hit another Still Leaf Champion. I kind of like another Still Leaf. Yeah, let's play the other Still Leaf. Price is right. No, Bob Barker played Magic. He doesn't. Drew Carey plays Magic. Duh. I'm sorry. I was just wrong. Simplify Drew Carey. Simplify. Jeez, what a hand. Mama said there'd be days like this. Do we even need selection? Let's go with a little selection. I don't want that. You're going to be real sad next game when the opponent turn 3's Unmoored Ego is your Carnage Tyrant. It could happen. It could happen. No. So I missed Lethal. If I would have played the Still Leaf Champion, and we still win though. Okay, cool. All right. So it's a control deck, which means I definitely want to see more cards. I think Galta is in its worst position against a control deck. I'll leave one in, but I'm not real big on Galta. I think that a lot of times when you're playing against control, what you need to be preparing for is the fact that you're not going to be keeping a bunch of creatures out on the board at the same time. So you're going to need to, like one creature is going to have to get you there. So the more important, like I want each creature to be important, and I don't ever want one to be stuck in my hand. So I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with less Pelt Collectors on the... I'm actually just going to take Pelt Collector out. And I'm going to go with Thrashing Brontodon. Actually, I want all the Thrashing Brontodons, and I will take out a Jade Light Ranger for one. And I'm going to run it back like that. If we see the Doom Whispers and things like that, I'll bring in Crawl Harpooner, but that'll be for Game 3. I think that I kind of want to be like dealing with other things right now, so we are going to get this opportunity to like turn to a Jade Light. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if he doesn't kill this Llanowar. Otherwise, we just turn to a Thorn Lieutenant and then turn 3 a Jade Light and make him start dealing with that. And once he deals with that, we play your Search for Itzkanta. He's going to do it. Thought Erasure. Okay. So he gets rid of Vine Mare here, right? What would you get rid of? If you were Thought Erasuring this ain't... I mean, I guess it would matter what you have in your hand, right? Thorn Lieutenant. Does that mean he has, like, no Ritual of Soot or anything like that? Okay, well, the Whisperer is 100%... the Whisperer is 100%... like, just there for card value. Yeah, you're right. Like, it may just get removed. Yeah, I won't put that on top. Twice. It may just get removed, but it requires an answer. It is a must-answer card. As a control deck, he cannot let me keep a Doom Whisper or a Beast Whisperer on the battlefield. So if I have another threat on the battlefield, and as soon as I play a Beast Whisperer, all of his attention has to go to that Beast Whisperer. So I'm actually putting a lot of value in the Beast Whisperer. While he's going to Thought Erasure me, he's looking for the Carnage Tyrant, but now he is realizing that, oh damn, it's on top of the library. He got rid of Thrashing Brontodon? This seems strange. This seems very strange. Yeah, I don't know how he beats not taking the Vine Mare. I don't. If he doesn't have another thought erasure right here, then the opponent has made a major mistake. Maybe a punt. I think it's a new player, which feels bad. Yeah, there's the disinformation campaign. That's what I thought when I seen the Brontodon removed. But I mean, I could have got rid of Carnage Tyrant. Like, I don't think we lose right here. I mean, I'm about to swing at him for 10. Yeah. Let's see if we can draw another land. Sweet. There would have been an argument to hang on to the land, but we'll just swing 10. Yeah, it doesn't take much to hand someone the game. I mean, he's also like, I mean, he's got cast down and things like that, but he's just not getting past the Vine Mare. Like maybe he's not used to seeing Vine Mare or something, but I don't know. Like I don't know how to explain this. Yeah, that just felt bad. Like crushed that poor kid. Anyway, your mono green list it's sweet. I think you're going to run into problems against like Lava Coil and stuff, but anytime you're not running against Lava Coil deck, you probably got a really good shot. So, yes, that's what we're about to do next. I promised we would do that in the last stream. I said that we would talk about those. Never had a chance. No, he did not, Darren. No, he did not. Yeah, so that went really smooth. We had a lot of fun games there. They were over kind of quick though, right? But you know, we've had a couple streams today, so all right. So for those of you that want to stick around, we're gonna go pull up the new spoilers, and we've only got like 6 cards to talk about. So I'm gonna pull up the new spoilers, and you guys know me, I'm not real big on spoilers, but it is filler, and we're trying to become a real Magic channel. So many things that we've got to start doing. So many things. Anyway, why has Lava Axe been up there? Because it's still in standard, and I just typed in the word lava. Like I was looking for Lava Coil, like Lava Runner, Lava Coil, Lava Axe are the 3 cards in standard that have lava in the name. Let me clarify that. And yes, those are the only 3 cards in standard. So anyway, there's a couple different versions of Lava Axe you can run, right? You can run some old, like old ones, really old ones. Anyway, let's do this. Let's open Chrome back up. Get old Chrome Dome out here. For those of you that are not used to mana traders, it's pretty easy to return your cards as well. Even if you've done like me and like grabbed cards in multiple sets and stuff, you just click one button and they will they'll come bring it to you. So Mythic Spoilers. Mythic Spoilers is where I typically like to go for my spoilers. You can do that or MTG Salvation, but Mythic Spoilers usually has like prettier like visuals. But looks like we have the actual cutouts here. So. Just one moment, we'll talk about these. I'm gonna turn these cards in. I do recommend that if you guys are using mana traders, that you do turn your cards in when you're done playing with them. Mana hours will continue to calculate as long as you have the cards pulled out. As soon as you turn them back in, the mana hours stops. So Salvation has English versions. All right. Well, let me turn these cards in. I'll pull them both up. All right. So. We can find translate there somewhere. Like normally they have like articles and stuff. So yeah, Mythic Salvation is the way to go. Or Mythic Spoilers is the way to go, and MTG Salvation is the other one. Like just whichever one you like. It's kind of like you use TCG Player, or do you use MTG Goldfish, or you use like there's a ton of different deck building sites and and spoilers and things. Spoilers are a big part of Magic, so. A lot of sites that support it. Alright, now, on to spoilers. Okay, so our first card here. Let's see if we can pull this up. Alright, it's Simic Ancestry. Alright, Ancestry. It's a rare. Multicolored. 1 blue, 1 green. So, Simic colors. And then it has the ability, and it's enchantment. 2 mana enchantment has the ability for 3 mana. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. When 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on a creature you control, you may put that many growth counters on Simic Ancestry. At the beginning of your... Whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on a creature you control, put that many growth counters... Okay, alright. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if Simic Ancestry has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. So, Tier 1 Jank's like, oh snap, alternate win con, I'm in. Yeah, Saffron Olive's all over this. This will definitely get some show in the against the odds, trying to put +1/1 counters on things. Now, that's whenever a +1/1 counter is put on anything. So this would go really good in like a Simic Explore deck or something like that, and you're just putting counters. So as you're putting counters on things, you're just gonna grow your Simic Ancestry, which will mean that people will have to be running some enchantment hate. Like, you will not be able to this isn't an inevitability. At some point, an Explore deck will have put 20 counters on things at some point. So, yeah. If you can't get 20 counters in one turn, it'll never see play. Right? Because people will just be waiting. Right. Well, hardened scales, that's a thing. I mean, hardened scales isn't in standard, but... so some people say, like, if you can't do it in 20... Like, if you can't do everything in one shot, or... like really, really fast, then there's no point. Others are saying that this is just a card that I get to play with, and then I just get to go play a deck. Simic Ancestry plus Hadana's Climb, possibly broken. What are you doing? You putting everything on a Llanowar Elf? Because, like, if you're doing that on curve, you played a 1-drop, and then you played a 2-drop that did nothing, and then you played a 3-drop that puts a +1/1 counter on your Llanowar Elf. Seems to me like you've got a lot of cards that don't do a whole lot. And every time you're putting a lot of cards that don't do a whole lot in it, then you guys know how it happens there. Simic Ancestry, Sapperlings, and Path to Ancestry. Okay. Jungle Delver for the win, says Tier 1 Jank. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I like your idea there. You don't need Jungle Delver. I mean, for Jungle Delver, you got to pay 4 mana to put a counter on with Jungle Delver. Simic Ancestry, pay 3 mana. Like 3, let me see it. 3 mana. pay 3 mana. 3 mana. If you're German, I guess. Pay 3 mana and just put a +1/1 counter in anything. So, I mean, Llanowar, yeah, I knew you were joking, but I don't know. It's an alternate win con. Somebody's going to play around with it. It's going to be an idea. Somebody's going to do it. All right, let's go look at the Haunt of Hightower. The Haunt of Hightower is a 6-mana black legendary vampire. All right. I wish I could see that art a little bit more. Looks like that's some Doom Whisperer weirdness going on right there. Or, sorry, not Doom Whisperer, Dream Eater, right? Anyway, it's got some words on it we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. It's a flying lifelink. Let's move down here. Flying lifelink. Whenever the Haunt of Hightower attacks defending player, discards a card. Ho ho ho! Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/1 counter on the Haunt of Hightower. Alright, it comes in as a 6-mana 3/3. Dies to everything. Right? Dies to everything except for cast down. So you're not going to be doomblading this guy. But, I mean, if you can mill them, you can make them discard a card. Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a 1/1 counter on Haunt of Hightower. So that makes me think that if I mill you for 2, this card goes in, this card goes in, I'm going to get 2 triggers. Did we just get our reason to be in blue-black mill? Or like, do we now have a reason to mill ourselves in blue-black mill? Or do we get to run red-black hand disruption, like burn? Like what? Yes, Dev's mono black burn deck, right? Right, a mill deck finisher. Like typically, I don't like doing that sort of thing, but like splitting your win con, going, okay, well, I'm going to mill you just to make this dude big to attack you, and they're like, well, Vraska's Contempt. Now, back to the mill plan, right? So maybe it is a good mill finisher, maybe not. I don't know. Fleet Swallower plus Simic Ancestry plus Hightower. Oh my god. Oh, you did it. You did it. So you just have a Simic Ancestry out, and you get your Fleet Swallower out. And then Fleet Swallower. Oh my good. Ancestry. What? Am I not saying it right? I thought it was Ancestry. Like ancestral bloodline and like whatever. I'm not that worried about the pronunciation of it. Have you guys not ever watched Saffron Olive? You definitely live in Christmas land, McFats. Yes, but think about it. All right, so Fats just figured out how to do it in one turn, right? You have your Fleet Swallower out, and then you pay 8 mana to go ahead and like you play that, and then you play your Haunt of Hightower. You mill them for half of their deck. They mill over 20 cards. You get 20 counters on Haunt of Hightower. Bam! Win the game. Build it, Fats. Build it, dude. Oh, it sounds so horrible. 3 colors, so like we're doing some kind of Sultai counters deck. Ascendancy. Okay, my bad. Ascendancy. Alright, like you're ascending. Not, alright. Ascendancy, okay. Is that better? Ascendancy. It's an idea. You know, Haunt of Hightower, it's an idea. Rakdos Firewheeler. Oh, this is the rotation. Where we get the 2 red, 2 black card. Alright, so it says, first off, it's a 4/3. And it says when it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target opponent and 2 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Damn. Really? That's a drag. That's kind of weak. I mean, I'm paying 4 mana for a 4 mana 4/3 ain't bad. Okay, so it ain't horrible, but I was hoping for a little bit more. Like, could the word haste have been put on? It's a human rogue on top of that, right? Could have been a vampire, could have been any other relevant creature type, but humans are usually not relevant in red and black. Could have been a human wizard, right? Like throwing crap. You'd had the red black wizards or something. But I mean, the card's not bad, right? The card's not bad at all. Well, I mean, I think like if it would have had haste on it, it might have been a little broken. If it would have been a 3/4, maybe. With Muldrotha might not be bad. So you're gonna play this in 4 colors, Dane, or are you behind? Dane, if you're hearing this, you might want to hit the live button so you can catch up to the stream. Otherwise, you're just a couple minutes behind. You're not that far behind. the card's not horrible. I mean, especially like on turn 4, you might be able to kill like their Merfolk Branchwalker. You kill their Merfolk Branchwalker, you're doing 2 damage to the opponent, so it's kind of like you're getting a Vishino Pyromancer, plus you're getting like a little bit better but single target, Goblin Chain Whirler. Maybe First Strike. That's what the card needed. The card needed First Strike. That's what it needed. Then it would have been real good. And it wouldn't have been too broken. But, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it may fit in the red-black deck really well. Yeah, you're getting there, Dane. I knew you were behind. I knew you was behind. You just a moment behind. All right. Card's cool. It's probably not bad. Probably playable. Open house for use on January 12th through 13th. 12th and 13th. All right. Okay, so this is the one that I actually seen on MTG Lion. And I don't think we know what the Spectre mechanic is. But we're going to find out. I think it's an okay card that is really a trash card overall, but will be good and decent in today's standard. Kind of like Contempt. Yeah, fair enough. Right. As far as like, I'm not saying like these cards are good on like a modern or like an overall level. Yeah, I guess we'd just be talking about, is this going to be standard viable? And I guess this card is kind of standard viable. All right, let's move on to, I don't want Mortify. Light the stage. The Thespians. All right, so it's a red sorcery. It's an uncommon, 3 mana, and it has the ability Spectacle for 1 red. We do not know what that ability is. We don't know what it does. But you exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your turn, you may play those cards. So for 3 mana, and you can play them. It says play, not cast. So for 3 mana, you can look at the top 2 cards of your library and you can play them. If it's land, you can go land, and then if anything else, it might be useful in like the frenzy decks where you're just wanting to flip the top card of your library or something like that, like move the top card of your library. It might not be bad. I am very curious as what Spectacle can be, so I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, it's like these little devils, like devils are all out over all around the Colosseum here, or yeah, it's Colosseum. I mean, there's a big door there in the back, so these are huge, like running around the Colosseum and blowing fire everywhere. Yeah, because there's little bitty dudes down here. Well, if there's little dudes down here, then like, are these lamps like gargantuan? I don't know. Maybe the more I look at this, the less sense it makes. Does it say all the world's a stage? I can't. It says todo el mundo sus puestos? Man. Somebody that speaks more Spanish than I do, tell me what this says. Yeah, I don't know. The flavor text. Do we do that? We Google Translate. Google Translate. Dictate. What was it? De mundo. Okay. Maybe it's everyone to their places. Yeah. How was that spelled again? P-U-E-S-T-O-S. Everyone to their post. So it's everyone to your places. Places, everyone. Right? Despacio. What? Despacio? Am I going that slow? Well, light all the lampposts. Is it supposed to be light all the lamppost? Copy paste. I couldn't copy paste. You can't copy from an image. Come on, people. Work with me here. Yeah. There we go. So Google Translate says everyone to their post, but something tells me it's not that. It's probably like loosely translated to your places, everyone. You know, take your place on stage or whatever. But anyway, let's move on to Growth Spiral. Growth Spiral. This card's another Simic card, so some of you are gonna love it. But one blue, one green for an instant speed uncommon that says draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. All right, so you're gonna draw a card first, and then you're going to get to play a land. Oh man, that's instant speed. Instant speed, 2 mana, draw a card, play a land. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about this one? This card might be good, right? This is an uncommon. This card might be really, really good. 2 mana. 2 mana. 1 blue, 1 green. So it's just explore? No. You put, like, you draw the card, no matter what, you draw the card. So if it's creature, if it's land, whatever. And then you get to put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. So, oh, it's the old Explorer. Oh, like, not the Explorer mechanic, but the actual card Explorer. Alright, yeah, it's Explorer. My bad. Yeah, my bad. It took me a moment. But that said, you may play an additional land this turn. This doesn't care about that. Like, if you can play an additional land this turn, that's fine. Like, you're not playing the land. You're just putting a land from your hand onto the battlefield. So if you had, like, Wayward Swordtooth or something like that, you could technically get 3 lands out on that particular turn. It's ramp and draw. That's... like, cards like this make me think that we might not be into so much of... yeah, Explorer was the sorcery, right? This is instant speed. 2 mana, you get to draw the card, then put the extra, like, which is like Explorer. So, yeah, this is like a functional standard reprint of Explorer. Like, this card's probably really good. Fair enough, James. If you did make that play, your hand would be pretty empty, and it'd be pretty bad from there forward. So yeah. Growth Spiral. This card's good. This card will get play. It does make me a little bit curious, though. If this card is, like, has something to do with the mechanic... Sorry. If this card has something to do with the mechanics that that we're going to be seeing in... like, is that where they want the ramp deck to fit into the meta? Is in Simic? Or... Yeah, I think it's a common. Like, I was looking at that too. This is all blacked out. Looks like a common, not an uncommon. But I'm not gonna. I don't know. My mustache is tickling my nose, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I got this one hair over here that keeps tickling the side of my nose. That's what happens when your mustache curls all the way over to your nose. Anyway, this card's good. This card's really good. I mean, Explorer was a good card, and it was Sorcerer Speed. This is Instant Speed. Like, you get to hold up Counterspell, and then at the end of turn ramp. Like, that's... This card's going to get play. This card's going to change things. Like, the blue-green Karn deck's going to come back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. The card I was waiting to see spoiled. Here you go. Wait no longer. It is here. 3 mana, instant speed, 1 black, 1 white, 1 colorless for Mortify. Petrify. Terrify. Mortify. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Yeah? Get wrecked, Simic. You and your alternate win con. Because after I destroy your creature with all your +1/+1 counters on it, I'm going to mortify that enchantment, right? Oh, man. This is a good card. You still have your OG copies? There you go. This is a good card. This was a good card a long time ago. This is a good card again. I'm pretty sure this is a reprint, right? This is a reprint, right? This is a reprint. Mortify, Detection Tower, bad day for Lich's Mastery. Does that work? I thought Detection Tower said creatures. You might be right. Until a turn, your opponents and creatures your opponents control with hexproof. Can't be. Nope, that won't work. Unfortunately, that won't work, James. Or, not James. Marcus. I could think of Leslie, but I couldn't think of Marcus. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to call her Lisa, right? Yeah. Well, it's players and creatures, but yeah, it won't work for the enchantment. But Mortify, you get to have creature kill, and like, if a Braid was good because it would kill a creature and it would kill an enchantment, this card is going to be good. So think of like how far we've moved into enchantment-based removal, like with all of the Conclave Tribunals, all of the Ixalan's Bindings, the Sealaways, the Baffling Ends, all of this stuff. That is that's going to be pretty impactful. You know, a lot of times I always say that one of the biggest impacts that will be on a meta will be the removal spells. And that's, we were talking about that with mono green, that the removal spells has a lot to do with why we're not seeing mono green getting play, because Lava Coil is one of the better kill spells in Standard right now. The best kill spell in Standard right now, in my opinion, is actually Ravenous Chupacabra. Because those two cards are your best kill spells, you kind of got decks like based around them, and Lava Coil is really good. This is going to be your new, but like right up there with your new best kill spells. Fits in Esper, fits in Mardu, fits in Orzhov. Of course, it's in Orzhov, but yeah, some things like you can play some Abzan, right? We're gonna have all the color combinations. This is Abzan will be a force to be reckoned with, ladies and gentlemen. Because of this card, Abzan and Orzhov decks, if you are fans of those type of decks, get ready, they're coming. They're 100% coming. This is going to be right there with Ravenous Chupacabra and Lava Coil as being our top tier removal spells, our prime pieces of removal, right? We always talk about it, and we want to force them to use like prime removal, so that thing. Anyway, that's our spoilers. we'll be trying to keep up with these, especially as big spoilers come out. We get a whole bunch of like commons and uncommons. We might not talk a lot about it, but as we get more, we will be looking at some more towards the end of streams, things like that. It might be a good way to wrap up. Kind of like I like to hang out and talk with you guys a lot of times during the wrap up and stuff. So, all in all, though, I had a lot of fun tonight, guys. I hope that you all had fun. And if you want to support the stream, there's a lot of ways you can do it. Most of them are in the description box. I'm not going to get into how you can support the arena stream because I'm going to be pitching that enough on the arena. I just don't want to pitch it anymore. But if you guys want to play any of the decks, you still want to play on Magic Online, you want to sell your collection and rent, or if you've already sold your collection but you still want to play on Magic Online, but you don't want to really buy another collection, just rent. Just rent on Magic Online until you find out what the hell's going on. And they're foil, Rush. They're foil. You know they're called foil. Time him out. We're done. Love you, Rush. Love you. Anyway, we've got a lot going on here in the next couple weeks. I had to take a little time off last week. I know some of you guys were like, I missed some shows and stuff like that, and but we've got some stuff coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of arena. And like I said, I'm gonna be pitching the, if you wanna see more arena, then help support arena, and that's where I am going to be putting like 90% of everything that comes into the channel is going to be going into arena, so that we can make that move over there. But I still don't think it's a bad idea to play or to use manatraders, especially for a Netflix subscription. So like. I don't think MTGO is going anywhere, and I think it's going to be at least a year before they start Standard Plus. So, Rush. I think it's at least going to be a year before they start like Standard Plus or anything like that. It's going to be until after rotation. So, Magic Online's not going anywhere for a while, guys. We got a lot of time to play with it. So, that's all I've got for tonight. Had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. We'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG. Thanks for coming out, guys. And gals. It's over, Rush. Much love. Y'all have fun.